You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi everyone, this is Michelle Fern, host of Best Bets for Pets on Pet Life Radio. I always try to feed my dogs natural foods, use natural products, do things that are healthy for them. But sometimes what's healthy for them either, I find doesn't work so great or maybe doesn't taste so great. Oh boy, I tried some products. I have such a solution for you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Buster, you're telling me my dog food products can't go on your shelves?
That's right. Didn't pass one of my Petco certified nutrition checklists. Sorry, Wayne.
Who made these checklists?
Geniuses. Very smart guys.
Well, it's good enough for most grocery stores.
Do you see cheese puffs on my shelves? Mayonnaise? Soda pop?
No.
That's because I ain't running no grocery store, Wayne. Your pets will get better nutrition, I guarantee it. Petco, where healthy pets go.
Enter the code LUCKY10, LUCKY, the number 10, and get 10% off any order. No minimum at petco.com.
I play tennis because I love to. But inside, I want to win. Take away the court, the net. I might not be a player, but I'll always be a competitor. Lady Foot Locker understands that.
Lady Foot Locker, the first to carry Adidas off-court shoes and the gear that goes with them.
If you play your best, there's no regret.
Lady Foot Locker, one place, every woman.
Go to ladyfootlocker.com and enter the code AFBP10LF to get 10% off any order of $50 or more. Or enter the code AFBP15LF to get 15% off any order of $75 or more at ladyfootlocker.com.
I don't make any decisions about who to hire without going to Angie's List first.
You'll find reviews on home repair to healthcare, written by people just like you.
With Angie's List, I know who to call, and I know the results will be fantastic.
Angie's List, who you can trust.
Go to angieslist.com/best and get 25% off any subscription. That's angieslist.com/best, BEST.
Hi everybody, I'm Megan Blake here with my sidekick Super Smiley, the giant mutt and spokes dog for throwaways. You're listening to Pet Life Radio, and I'd like to tell you about our brand new show, A Super Smiley Adventure. Our show explores adventures with animals. They can be traveling, out in the world trips, or inner journeys where our animals lead us to inspiration and self-discovery, or just plain fun adventures. Join us here on Pet Life Radio on A Super Smiley Adventure. Good boy.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for listening today. We have a great show planned. I have Susan Weiss, who's the president and founder of Ark Naturals. Welcome, Susan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much for coming on my show.
Good, and I appreciate you giving me a chance to talk about ourselves, so to speak.
I tried 3 of your products, and I was so impressed. The Don't Shed on Me came at a great time because my dog is shed mask. He has long hair, and it just comes off. And, especially when they do their big shed, and your product came right at the beginning of his big shed. I think I noticed about 50% less hair all over the place. It was amazing.
Terrific.
And the breathless toothpaste. Now, this is a chewable toothpaste for dogs. And I have tried many of them. Many, many, many of them. My dog he's the king of picky eaters. He's a mixed lab. You expect little dogs to be picky. He's not a little dog and he's a mix, but he's so, so picky. And I remember when I was giving it to him, the other dog, the little one, he eats anything. He loved it. But the bigger one, I thought, I don't know. And he jumped. He loved it. Every time I gave it to him, loved it. And I did notice a difference in his breath and his teeth. Then we also tried the plaque zapper, which made a big difference too. And, you just put it in the water, and I really like that one also. So, I don't know, maybe you could tell our listeners a little bit about these products or maybe about Ark Natural.
Okay, well, Ark Naturals was founded in 1996, and I own the company with my husband. We started this company as really an outgrowth of the human natural products business because we use natural products in our own lives. And I actually had a standard poodle that only made it to 10 years old because he was, I owned him at a time where I wasn't that educated. So I didn't give him the best food. It was the time when you inoculated animals like crazy, so I was probably the first one online to re-inoculate my dog. And I think consequently, he really failed to thrive. And I felt there was definitely a better way because when he died, I think a part of me died also. It was very unexpected and very, very painful. So that pretty much is the start of the company. Our goal was to figure out how to enhance the human-animal relationship. And animals that are healthy are way more fun. I mean, everybody that brings a pet, whether it's a cat or dog, into their life really is bringing them in for good times. And healthy animals are, as I said, just much more fun. So there are certain issues that really, that are kind of universal in the pet owning world, whether you're a cat person or a dog person or a both. One of the big issues, of course, is dental. For most consumers or pet guardians, when they think about dental, the first thing that comes to their mind really is about the stinky breath, particularly with dogs, because dogs are generally more in your face than basically cat people. It's just kind of the way humans really think nothing of kissing their dogs. And that's, I think, the first time where the human goes, oh my God, I'm about to keel over from my dog's breath. So that's what I call the simple problem. The more complicated problem is that bad breath is really a symptom of a lot of things that are either there or are about to happen. When animals, just like humans, it's really not that different. When you start to get dental decay, whether you get the sticky film called plaque and then it turns into tartar, what happens is that the teeth get loose, the gums get red, but that isn't even the most complicated thing. The most complicated thing is that unattended to, this pieces of plaque and tartar will actually break off of the animal's teeth and will go down into the bloodstream. And it's a bacteria, and the potential at its most serious is that this bacteria will affect vital organs of your animal's life. And again, it's very, very, very similar to the human dynamic. So my goal was to try to figure out how to really make a difference in the animal's dental health, but also fit an American lifestyle. Everybody is busy. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, we're all busy. We're juggling 100 lives, and having to brush your dog's teeth or brush a cat's teeth particularly, is close to impossible. And while there are a lot of toothpaste products in the marketplace, they're actually not bad products. It's not about the product, it's about the application. So when I was doing the research on dental products, what I noticed that you had like one group of products that were easy to use that actually had no value whatsoever, and then you had another group of products like the toothpaste products where you actually had to brush the teeth that really made a difference, but in fact they were too hard to use. So that was my goal, to figure out how to make something easy to use that the animal would benefit from and would really create a difference. And through a number of years, I actually worked on dental from 2002 to 2008 with a lot of R&D dollars down the tube because things don't really happen overnight. I finally was able to create this brushless toothpaste. And it's a patent-pending product. What's so unique about it is that it's a rice-based bone. It's a totally vegetarian product. Has no wheat, corn, soy, or anything like that. And it actually has two parts to it. The outside of the product is pretty conventional. It has chlorophyll, and it has cinnamon and clove and vanilla, which I kind of equated to, if you take a chiclet or a cert in your mouth when you have bad breath. So you get this immediate remediation of the bad breath. But the bigger problem I was trying to solve, again, is to get the bacteria stats into the animal's mouth. And the entire center of the bone is infused with 3 different bacteria stats. And a bacteria stat is something that is designed to eliminate bacteria. So you have the ease of the usage because it's really conventional in the shape and what we're all used to. And but on the inside of it, it's very unconventional because it has 3 active ingredients that really work. And we originally came out with that product in 2 different sizes, and the sizes are about the dimension of the bone. Little guys would use a narrower bone, and the bigger guys would use the bigger bone. But this past fall, what we did was we realized that we were missing a whole audience of the really little guys. And we came out with the mini size. And it's really doing very, very well for us. So that's one product, and that's one application for dental. When I was doing the research for what things really worked in dental, what are the real ingredients and what I call the fake ingredients, what I came across were enzymes. And these enzymes in this other product, Black Sapper, are really amazing. And I tried to use the enzymes. Actually, I tried to spray them on the bone. I tried to coat them. I tried to do biscuits and all those things. But enzymes are living, breathing cells, and you can't heat them. You can't cook them. They're very fragile. So every application I tried failed, and what I needed to do was to create a standalone product, and that's what we did. The enzymes work in a different way because one of the culprits of tooth decay, and this, again, is about a human or about an animal, really is about the pH of your saliva. Some of that is the luck of the draw. And I'm sure in your own life, you know that some of your friends or family really do nothing to take care of their teeth, while other people are religious about taking care of their teeth, and they're always at the dentist. So there is a certain genetic plus or minus, lucky or unlucky. And when you put these enzymes, it's an effervescent technology that we developed, and you put it into either the dog's drinking water or the cat's drinking water, and these enzymes stay bioavailable for up to 8 hours. Totally odorless, totally colorless, totally tasteless. The human doesn't have to do anything but open this little envelope, and it really works particularly well with an animal because it's not about the drinking. It's really about just getting it into the mouth. It's literally about the sloshing around, and it changes the pH of the chemistry of the saliva. It's a particularly great product for cats because while it's difficult to brush a dog's teeth, it's virtually impossible to brush a cat's teeth. And this is a really great standalone product. You can use them together. They're both really good. As I said, we've had them in the marketplace now for several years, so we can see by our sales that the sales just continue to grow. And sales continue to grow because people are happy with the product and they see results. And we've gotten really great emails and compliments when we do trade shows that these products are really working, just as you yourself suggested earlier, that you see a difference and your dog likes it.
That's wonderful. How does Don't Shed on Me work?
Okay, well, Don't Shed on Me is a whole other thing. Some of the issues with shedding, again, is genetic. 90% of all dogs and probably almost 100% of all cats shed. Some shedding is definitely nutritional, and one of our products is an omega-3 product for that. But then there's some shedding that's really kind of random. It could be because your animal walks in the grass and there are different chemicals sprayed in your grass to keep the bugs and keep the weeds away. It could be because you're living in a super dry climate or a super humid climate, or you use a detergent and you don't really know when your dog lies on your on a towel or your couch or anything on your bed, that is annoying the animal. The Don't Shed On Me works by, it's a topical product, it smells amazing, and it actually hydrates the hair follicle. And by hydrating the hair follicle, it helps to moisturize it. But it's not a gooky product. You just spray this on lightly, and you kind of run your hands through your dog or your cat's coat. And by hydrating the coat, you help to reduce the excessive shedding that the animal is using. And again, I think the fragrance of it is really kind of off the charts. It's very light. It's kind of a tropical fragrance. I myself have actually 2 non-shedding dogs, and I actually use it because I like the smell of it.
It does smell really good.
Yeah, exactly. My one little dog is a little Havanese rescue, and she's really low to the ground. And I notice, I think the dogs that are really low to the ground, and we're a Florida company, I think they get dirty much more quickly than my other guy, I have another different giant standard poodle. And I think that she really smellies much faster than my big guy. And I'll walk past her and I'll say, "Oh, Lily, you need some Don't Shed On Me." And I just, put a little squirt on her, and she smells so much better. But it's a really great product. And I always say to people, here's the deal with shedding. It's not a health issue. It's the dog or the cat is fine. They don't carry around a broom or a dust mop or whatever. It's really a human inconvenience. Whoever is in charge of maintaining the house is the person that is the most annoyed. So there is hair on your clothes, generally around knee level. If you have dogs that are passing by, or maybe lower for cats, hair on the floor in your house, if your beds, your couch, wherever they're allowed to go. And as I said, it's not a health issue. It's really a human inconvenience. So this product is really designed to enhance that human-animal relationship, because when you have less mess, and that's what we say on the bottle, shed less, mess less, hug more. Because we do love to keep our animals close to us, and I remember that I had cats at one point, and they would want to come over and snuggle with me, and I'd be getting ready for work, and I kind of would be walking backwards because I knew that I had to go outside, and I just didn't want to have the hair up and down my legs before I walked out the door. So this, again, is designed to increase that human-animal relationship and give whoever is in charge of the housekeeping a break from the daily duty of finding the hair and sweeping it, vacuuming it, mopping, whatever you have to do.
Now, Ark Naturals has a couple of new products coming out.
We have some really great new products that we actually just started releasing. One is a product called Flea Flicker Tick Kicker, and this is, again, a natural product that deals with fleas and ticks and all the bugs that are out there. It works on contact. It kills the fleas. It kills the ticks, and is certainly safer than using some of the pharmaceutical products out there. And in this case, that product really is really designed for, again, health. I'm not going to tell you that products like mine, these natural products, will be as effective as using a Frontline or Advantage or any of the other products in the marketplace. They don't last as long. However, they're not systemic products, and you have a better chance of keeping your animal safe, particularly if you have an animal, a dog or a cat, that is an aging animal or has any kind of chronic health issues. You need bug protection, but you really kind of want to find the easiest way to solve that problem, doing the least amount of damage to the animal. So I really always recommend it. I always say you're going to have to work a little harder, but your animal is going to be safer. And if you have kids, you can play with the dogs, not like some of the products that say don't play with this animal, don't put your hands in their fur for 24 or 48 hours. So that's that product. Another product is, and again, it's kind of, I call it like in the don't shed on me category. It's not a health issue. It's a human annoyance. And that is our product called No Stains for Me. And what that does, it's an ingestible product. It's a really great product with wonderful herbs in it. And it helps to control the tearing of the eyes and also the paw licking. Because what happens is if you have a light or a white furred animal, you see this. And people that have the Bichons and maybe the poodles and the Maltese and maybe the beautiful white cats, it really annoys them because you have this pristine looking animal and you have these dark circles under their eyes or again on their paws.
I have a dog like that, and he's a Havanese, and he gets that black, like gooey. And I do know that it's from them, from inside their body, and then them licking on their paws and wiping their face, and that's where it comes from. So
exactly.
A product like this one would be great for that.
And this is natural. There certainly has been a product on the marketplace for a number of years, and I'm sure you're all aware. I'm not going to mention the name. And it's really done really well in the marketplace. However, it's an over-the-counter drug, and it really is a drug that has been used in large animals, cows and swine and things like that. Not obviously to remove the stains, but to kill bacteria. And it was just one of those flukes that they discovered that by using this drug, that it also, basically decreased the staining to the point where it becomes close to invisible. That's not the MO of this company. This company is about solving problems in a natural way. Natural is a gentler, I call it a gentler approach to solving a problem. My Havanese, too, Lily, is actually a black fur dog, except she has white paws and like a blaze going up her chest. And she's a rescue, and I would say to you, she's a highly neurotic dog. She's my favorite dog I've ever had, but she's got a whole bunch of issues. And one of her things is that she licks her paws incessantly, and I think it's really nervous behavior. It's not about food, and we've tested her for everything, and it's really not allergies. It's really, really nervous behavior. And her paws were this brownish color. And once we started using our product, I can see that the paws slowly are moving back into this kind of white color that they were originally. So it's a really nice product, has a great taste. It's a chicken flavor taste, easy to use. All you do is sprinkle it on to your pet's food, or if they like it enough, it's a pre-measured scoop. They could actually lick it right out of the scoop. And it takes all these products, even the ones that are the chemical products, take about 4 to 8 weeks to really see a difference. But ours definitely works.
Yeah, product stuff always take a little bit of time to work. You had mentioned you have an offer for our listeners. Can you tell our listeners about it?
We have free samples, not of every single product, but we do have free samples of our dental products, our herbal calming product, our vitamin product. And if your listeners will just email to sales@arknaturals.com and they just have to put it right in the subject line, samples, but they do need to give us their full name and the old-fashioned snail mail address. And we will put an envelope in the mail with some samples and a coupon. So we're really happy to let you try some things. I don't have samples of the Don't Shed on Me. We don't have any samples of the liquids. It's pretty complicated getting them through the mail. But all of our dry products, and we love to give out samples. We want you to have your own experience with Ark Naturals products. So again, sales@arknaturals.com. Just ask for samples, give us your first and last name and your complete snail mail address, and you're on your way.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. That's a really great offer for our listeners. Listeners will also have this information on the Best Bets for Pets blog. You can find that just by doing a search, put Best Bets for Pets blog in your search engine, and it'll come up. And this will be posted along with the information on where to get the samples and the email address as well. You can also go to arknaturals.com to see all of the products and more that Susan mentioned. Thanks so much, Susan, for coming on the show and telling our listeners all about Ark Naturals and your fabulous products.
Thank you so much. And, we're very available, especially with the email. I mean, if anybody has any questions, we're pretty good. We try to get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. If it's a medical question, like you're not sure your animal is taking medication, you don't know if you could use one of our products, we will not answer you right away. We will refer to our vet to get some, clarity on whether you should use a product or not. But we really try to educate and make sure that we keep these little guys and big guys as safe as possible.
Great. Thanks so much. Thanks, listeners, for taking the time to listen to Best Bets for Pets. Thanks, Susan, for coming on this show and telling us all about Ark Naturals. You can find out more about Ark Naturals on my blog, Best Bets for Pets blog. Just do a search on the search engine. You can also find out more on the episode page of this segment at PetLifeRadio.com. And thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me sound great. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to 1-800-PetMeds.com/best, BEST, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at PetMeds.com.
Whether they're big, small, hairy, or whatever, you're going to need gear for your feet. And Kids Foot Locker's got all the great shoes and gear that'll get you in the game.
Go to kidsfootlocker.com and enter the code AFBP10KF to get 10% off any order of $50 or more. Or enter the code AFAM15KF to get 15% off any order of $75 or more at kidsfootlocker.com.
And cover those funky feet.
How would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience? We have a brand new trademark concept called InfoSeeds. InfoSeeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service. Is the best, most cost-effective way to invite us in. We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit the website
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information. There you can listen to a sample of InfoSeed. Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
Welcome to Sassy Seniors, a show about our fabulous older dogs and cats. I'm your host, Kelly Jackson. I wanted to create a show to really showcase our senior pets. And, as the human population ages and lives longer, of course, so are our wonderful pets. But many of us with aging pets, it's so interesting. We have a tough time realizing or really admitting that they are seniors. So, in a way, I kind of like to think of our senior pets as wise puppies. What do you think about that? Be sure to join us for another edition of Sassy Seniors. And remember, celebrate your senior pets.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to welcome Susan Castriota, and she has written the book Wilson Gets Adopted. Welcome, Susan.
Hello, Michelle. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. Your book is called Wilson Gets Adopted.
Yes.
And not only did you write it, but you also did all of the illustrations.
Yes, I'm an illustrator.
And the book is gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you.
Now, this is a children's book for all the listeners out there. And besides, a beautiful book and a nice story, there's a great underlining message for children. So can you tell our listeners a little bit about the book itself?
Yes. I adopted Wilson. Wilson is my third dog, and I was looking for a dog to be compatible with my two Havanese dogs, and I started going on petfinder.com, and I was pretty much set on a poodle mix. And this little guy came up named Wilson, and when I went to the Humane Society to adopt Wilson, I found out a little bit of history about Wilson, that his previous owner had died. That's all I knew at the time. When I brought Wilson home, he started to display the kennel cough, and turned out he had kennel cough so severe that it was resistant to most antibiotics, and then he also had pneumonia. So about 2 months into this of nursing Wilson, he got better, and I started thinking, well, maybe I could find out more about Wilson and his history to find out why he was so sick. And I did a little investigating and found out that Wilson's original owner, John, was a heavy smoker, and he died. And he left two little dogs, Peaches and Wilson, for no one to care for. So they were taken by a high kill shelter or a pound. And then the shelter that I got Wilson in actually rescued Peaches and Wilson from the kill shelter. So that's how I started thinking this might make a great little story to tell about Wilson having so many health issues due to having an owner that was a heavy smoker. So that was my inspiration.
That's great inspiration. And were you looking for a shelter for adoption, or were you just looking anywhere for adoption? How did you decide on a shelter?
I wanted to go to a shelter because I'm active in the shelters in my area, and I really believe that it's a great thing to adopt a dog. And I really was not in the mood to get a puppy. I didn't want to do that anymore. I still don't. Next time I get a dog, and actually we just adopted another one, it'll be a mature dog or an older dog. Wilson was 4 years old when I got him. And so I think it's a great idea, for me, but I think a great idea for a lot of people to, if they're looking for a dog, go on to a website similar to Petfinder or Petfinder, and you put in the type of dog you want. And there are dogs that are being fostered. There are dogs in shelters. There are a lot of dogs that are just in need of a home.
I'm a huge fan of shelters. All of my dogs have been from shelters. Also a huge fan of mixed breeds because that's just what I like. But you're right, there's all kinds of dogs out there. We even have a show about pet adoption, and that focuses on different dogs all over the country for pet adoption. There's a lot of dogs out there, and cats.
Oh, absolutely. And we actually just adopted another dog. I was doing a signing at the Humane Society, and my daughter fell in love with this dog. And he was a 6-month-old Australian cattle dog. And there are purebreds. Maybe even 25% of the dogs in the shelters, they say, are purebred dogs. So if people were only looking for a purebred, they still can find one in a shelter.
So there seems to be an underlining message, I think, in The Wilson Gets Adopted. But as, of course, you're the author, is there an underlining message, and what is it?
Well, I guess one of the messages is to teach kids about the secondhand smoke issue. Another is about pet adoption, and there's a little bit of information in there or a story about volunteering, which is also important for children. And when I speak to kids at schools, they are already aware of the secondhand smoke issue. That's something that they're very familiar with. And or maybe they have a grandparent or a neighbor or somebody that smokes and they have a pet, and maybe this is a good opportunity for them to say something to them, because there are smokers out there that don't know that their smoking can affect their pets. Maybe they know it affects people, but they might not know that secondhand smoke affects pets. And it's not just dogs. It's dogs, cats, birds. They're just like we are in that respect. So I think it's a nice message for children, and the kids seem to enjoy the book.
It's a nice message, too, for kids and parents about the secondhand smoking, and maybe in a way for children to teach their smoking parents or grandparents or something that maybe it's time to quit.
Right. If maybe I was talking to somebody that read the book, and she works with people who are trying to quit smoking, and she had one lady that did not quit for her husband, but the woman found out that it was harmful to her dog, and then she decided to quit. So the poor husband in that instance, but at least she decided to quit. Maybe not to even quit, maybe just to say, go outside and have a cigarette. Don't smoke around your pet.
Well, it's a great lesson that's in the book. There's a coloring contest I've heard about called Butts Out for Wilson. Can you tell our listeners about that?
Yeah, well, I just thought it would be something for the kids to get involved in. And I thought about, of course, Butts Out for Wilson just came to my mind. And it's a coloring contest available on Wilson's website, which is wilsongetsadopted.com. And it's for children 4 to 12 years old. And we do have prizes listed. And they can go online and download the actual entry and the rules. And the entries are going to be listed, or they're going to be shown on Facebook. So the kids, with their parents' permission, of course, are going to be able to go online to actually see the entries, and they'll be able to see their entry online. And it's fun to get kids involved in the Wilson Butts Out for Wilson campaign, and it's also teaching them, once again, about the dangers of secondhand smoke.
You mentioned wilsongetsadopted.com. Is that where people can order the book, or they're available in certain bookstores? How can people get Wilson Gets Adopted?
Right now it is available on wilsongetsadopted.com, and soon it's going to be available on Barnes & Noble online. And right now I'm working on a couple of other online bookstores.
Wilson Gets Adopted, is that the first in a series?
Yes. That's the first book, and right now I'm working on book number 2, which is Wilson Learns Manners. And just like Wilson had to learn manners when he came into my home, Wilson is going to teach children manners too. And I just thought that was an important issue today. And then the third book I just started working on, that is a fiction book about Wilson going to China. A friend of mine lived in China, and she brought home a dog from a shelter in China. And so we thought it might make a really cute story if Wilson and Dawn went to China and rescued some dogs and brought them back. So that's book number 3, which is in the work right now.
That's so cute. So how does Wilson feel being the star of a book series?
He loves it. He did a TV show, and he was a regal little guy. He's so handsome, and he just sat there, and he loved all of the attention. And he likes the attention. Usually while I'm, doing my sketching or something, Wilson has to be on my lap. He's your typical lap dog. And but he does like the attention, and he's just he's a cute guy. He's absolutely adorable. I am so lucky to have found him.
I wonder sometimes if we find the dogs or if they find us, because for me, both my dogs, they're just a perfect match. It was just...
I know. I wonder about that too, because I actually, when I first saw Wilson, he was so tiny. He was only 7 pounds, and my other 2 dogs are around 11 pounds, and I thought, oh my gosh, he's just going to be too small for my other dogs. And it was because he was so sick. And then when he was nursed back to health, he's 11 pounds, and he's just like my other 2, so he fit right in. And he's just a happy guy now. He's really happy, and he likes to run around the yard and breathe fresh air.
Well, it's nice, he went through some turmoil. He didn't have a great, I'm sure his owner was loving, but it wasn't a great household because of the secondhand smoke. Now he's, star of a book series. He's in a clean house. He has some brothers and sisters to play with. I don't know the sex of the other dogs, but there, he has a whole group of, friends right there. He has siblings, and what a great turnaround.
Yeah. It's great. And he goes on walks now, and I'm sure before he was confined to an apartment, with a person in a wheelchair. So he didn't really get to go out. And, of course, being confined in the house made the smoke issue even worse. But he's a happy little guy, and he's very adaptable to whatever situation now that we put him in, but he's a happy guy. And he's really happy to be out of a shelter. That's difficult on a puppy, but it's really difficult on a mature dog to be confined in a little cage when they've never known that.
So just to make sure our listeners are aware, they can find out more about Wilson, and maybe can they find out about you as well on wilsongetsadopted.com?
Sure. Yeah, there's some information, and we've got a little stuffed animal that goes with the book if people are interested in that. There's also a song written by myself and a student at Carnegie Mellon University that's also online. The kids love the song, and then of course you can always visit Wilson Gets Adopted Facebook, and that gives a little bit of a daily update on what's going on in the Wilson world.
Great. Thanks so much, Susan, for coming on Best Bets for Pets. Thanks to my listeners for taking time to listen to the show, and thanks to Mark Winter for doing a great job at producing Best Bets for Pets. Listeners, if you have questions or comments, you could send them to Michelle at PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.